Hey guys, happy Wednesday. What's going on? All right, today's video is about ketosis, keto, the ketogenic diet. It's really specifically about why weight loss happens so rapidly for most people when they start this diet and why weight gain happens so rapidly once they come off of this diet. I get questions about keto all the time. It's very popular right now. Was actually just texting with a friend yesterday who started it recently. And some of you guys, on social media and also clients of mine come with questions about this like crazy. So I just want to clear up some misconceptions that might be out there about keto. And I hope you can hear me okay. Let me know when you join if you can hear me okay. I'm propping up my phone, but I'm not sure if I'm affecting the sound the way I'm doing it. Anyway, so I want to talk to you guys about this, and then I'm going to leave it up to you. If it's a tool that you think is something that you want to use in your whatever health journey, fat loss journey, whatever you've got going on, that's going to be up to you. For me personally, I think it is a fantastic tool to be aware of. It's more of a therapeutic tool for certain neurological diseases, more of a medical thing. For most people, most of the time, I don't believe in keto. It's not something that I practice for myself. It's not something I would pretty much ever advise anybody to choose for themselves unless there were very specific circumstances. And even that, it probably wouldn't be like a long-term thing. So let's talk about why, because you've probably heard the success stories of your friends or family members, somebody who has started keto and dropped tons of weight very fast, right? That is something that we hear about a lot, and it's true. It's very common for people to lose 5, 10, even 15 pounds in the first week or two of doing keto, depending on how much weight they have to lose, of course. So what's going on there? Well, being on a keto diet pretty much means cutting out all carbs. I know that there are varying amounts of carbs that people are allowed to eat, but by and large, it's reducing nearly all carbs to the point where most people don't even have fruit, or they have very, very, very little portions of fruit when they're on it because it is, that would be too many carbs. So people, even vegetables have to be counted and limited because of the carb content. So for our intents and purposes here today for this video, you're basically eliminating carbs. Carbohydrates, that second part, hydrate, clues you into the fact that when you have carbs, stored carbs, losing my internet here. When you have carbohydrates, water tends to go hand in hand with that. So carbohydrate, the carbs love the water as well, right? That's why that word is created. So basically, for about every gram of carbohydrates that you have stored in your body as glycogen, your body holds on to about 4 grams of water. Water weighs a lot. If you ever notice that you can, if you've ever had the experience where you've been weighed and then you had an IV and then you stepped on the scale again, that happened to me because of all my pregnancy illnesses, you will artificially, initially gain a ton of weight when you step on the scale after you've had an IV or after you drank a ton of water or something. Water weighs a lot. So you can imagine that as you're first initially starting keto and you are burning through those glycogen stores that you've got stored in your body and your muscles and your liver, then you're going to be dropping water weight very quickly. And we have a lot of this water weight on our bodies. Hey Brian, hi Bree, thanks for watching. So what you're doing initially is you're getting rid of all of this extra water, and you're so excited because you're like, oh my gosh, this is working. This is amazing. It's so true what everybody is saying about this diet. This is the diet. And now you're already telling all your friends to do it also, right? You're so excited. And then what happens is you get to a point where you sort of plateau. You can't keep losing all of that water, right? And you might be losing a little bit of fat in there as well. You might be losing a little bit of muscle in there as well. But predominantly what you're losing is the water. That's the only thing that you can lose that much of in such a short period of time. It is impossible to lose that much body fat in a short period of time. So now you get to the point where you plateau, and you usually during this plateau is when you start to get frustrated. You think that you're doing something wrong. You think that this is where this diet's not going to work for you. You might even then start to eat some carbs and then all of a sudden notice that the scale goes up like this. Why? Because when you bring back on the carbs, you're bringing the water along with it. So you will go up a couple of pounds overnight even just by reintroducing some of those carbs, okay? So with keto, it's very fast weight loss initially, and it's also very fast weight gain once you do end up coming off of the keto or just trying to have a weekend off or a cheat meal or whatever. So the weight comes on very fast. Now, I'm saying weight, I'm not saying fat loss. This is water weight, okay? So the only reason somebody would lose body fat on a ketogenic diet is if they are eating less calories than they're bringing in, right? Because the only way that you can actually lose body fat is if you are in a calorie deficit. So meaning you are bringing in less calories than your body's using, and your body, it's not really burning of the fat, but what we're doing is using the fat as our body stores. So let's say arbitrarily you require 2,000 calories a day to exist and to do all your activities, and you happen to eat 1,500 calories a day, whether you count them or not. That's just what you happen to bring in. Your body will then go and take that other 500 calories off of your stored body fat somewhere to be able to make up the 2,000 that it needs, okay? This is a net zero gain. Your body will always take what it needs. It's never actually in a deficit. It will take what it needs from what you already have on it. So the only reason ketosis will work for somebody in terms of fat loss is if it is assisting them to be in that calorie deficit. So for some people, they find that because they're able to eat these high protein, high fat meals, it fills them up. They feel like they're eating a lot of foods. They're eating a lot of their favorite foods even, foods that, back in the 90s were high fat and considered terrible for us, are back. So people love that, bacon is back, butter is back, all of that stuff. And so a lot of people feel like this is something that works really well for them and they can sustain that. But if you are not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to find that fat loss happening. So you might then notice that initial whoosh of the water going away, right? The first couple of weeks are fantastic. And then all of a sudden you hit that plateau and you're like, what's going on? That plateau is 100% going to come. You will 100% not keep losing the water weight at that same rate. So if you do choose this option, again, not necessarily something that I would advise, but just know that that plateau is coming. And if you do want to be successful on this, you have to stick with it and make sure that you're going to think about the energy balance that you're taking in, right? So if fat loss is a goal, you have to be taking in less energy than you're utilizing for the day. That's the only way that that works, okay? So that is why when people go on keto, they lose a ton of weight at first, not fat, weight. And that is also why then they have that one carbohydrate meal and they gain a ton of weight fast. Again, not fat, but weight. So where people then go wrong is when they think that they have, screwed up something because, well, look, I ate a piece of pizza and now I'm 4 pounds heavier the next day. I might as well just eat whatever, right? And it's the idea that you're just giving up, you're throwing in the towel and eating whatever. That's actually where people go wrong, not in the fact that they ate that piece of pizza initially. So in summary, rapid weight loss does happen on keto, but it's mostly water weight. And I can't say this. Rapid weight gain does happen when you stop keto, but again, it's mostly water weight. So ketosis is no better for losing body fat than any other method. In my personal opinion, I would like to be metabolically flexible. I want my body to be very good at being able to handle all kinds of macronutrients, right? I don't want to just kind of trick it into thinking it can only handle protein and fat. That just doesn't seem realistic or sustainable in the long term. My body happens to be one that I have to be careful about how many carbs I have and processed carbs and the glycemic load and things like that, because I used to have PCOS and I used to have prediabetes. And these are things that I was able to heal, but only because I was mindful of my food choices. However, I still do not practice ketosis because I want the benefits of being able to have, a sweet potato and the fiber, and I don't want to be limiting my vegetables. I don't believe that that's where people are really becoming unhealthy, is in the amount of carbs they're getting from vegetables. That's just, to me, not what it is. So keto to me is just a way of really restricting, and it's just like a fad. I'm going to get a lot of hate mail for this, so that's fine. But it feels very much like another yo-yo diet option. It's just another way to restrict what you can eat for the short period of time that's not going to last long term, because you tell me. Do you want to never eat a regular piece of pizza again or have ice cream or anything like that? Chances are you're doing this because you think you're going to lose the weight and then you're going to get down to your goal weight and then you can start to eat however you want. But that's not how that goes, right? It's all about the energy balance, making sure that you are bringing in what you need to, not too much, just enough for whatever your goals are. I hope that helps clear up any misconceptions about why weight loss happens so rapidly on keto. And if you have any more questions that I can answer for you, leave them in the comments. Have a good day, guys.